The popularity of breadfruit initially stemmed from Europeans' imaginations about the fruit's high nutritional value. For hundreds of years, Europeans fantasized about a fruit superior to other fruits. It was so nutritious, however, that this fantasy could only be suppressed because it was difficult to find in Europe's cold climate. Finally, when ocean exploration began, Europeans were amazed to find the fruit in question. Moreover, the fruit was native to Indonesia, in the 10,603-kilometer-long region known as the Indonesian archipelago. The fruit superior to other fruits, envisioned by Europeans, was very easy to find. It was called the breadfruit. History records that breadfruit is easily found throughout the Indonesian archipelago in several Pacific countries. Reliefs on Borobudur Temple depict breadfruit as a staple food for the locals. However, Europeans' first exposure to this fruit, known by its Latin name Artocarpus altilis, occurred in the 17th century. At that time, breadfruit had spread to the Pacific Islands through thousands of years of immigrant cultivation. The first European to discover it was the English explorer William Dampier. During a visit to Guam in 1686, Dampier saw a unique fruit not found in Europe. Dampier described the fruit as coming from a large tree and, when cut open, found no seeds or anything else inside. Therefore, we call it breadfruit, wrote William Dampier in A New Voyage Round the World, 1697. The name, breadfruit, came about because the fruit resembled toast. If the fruit was cut open and the skin removed, then the inside was baked over a fire, it tasted like toast. According to Dampier, breadfruit was delicious and could help alleviate famine, food shortages, and scurvy. When Dampier returned home, his account of breadfruit became a hot topic. Europeans were immediately curious about the fruit. However, their curiosity was limited to mere speculation, as it was difficult for them to taste or bring home breadfruit seeds. Not only Dampier's testimony, but a Dutchman named Rumphius also shared similar accounts. In his notes in the Amboines Herbarium, 1741, Rumphius called the fruit miraculous because it had the potential to be a highly nutritious and versatile snack. It could save people in times of famine and food shortages. However, the various testimonies about breadfruit remain mere imaginations of the majority of people regarding the highly nutritious fruit. Finally, James Cook's dream of bringing breadfruit to the UK was realized. In 1775, Cook asked botanist Joseph Banks to research breadfruit so he could bring it to various British colonies. The study, Grows Us Our Daily Bread, a review of breadfruit cultivation in traditional and contemporary systems, 2019, reveals that Banks was convinced that breadfruit had high nutritional value. Therefore, he asked King George III of England to allow breadfruit to be grown in the British colonies as a food source for slaves. Long story short, Banks' request was granted. He then brought breadfruit seedlings and planted them in the British colonies. Initially, they were planted in the Caribbean and Central America. Then, they were planted in other British colonies. Gradually, other European countries also spread breadfruit seedlings to their colonies. From there, breadfruit trees spread to Africa and Asia, and were consumed not only by Europeans but also by people around the world. Initially, breadfruit's nutritional value was based solely on empirical evidence, lacking any clinical laboratory evidence. Classical accounts described breadfruit as highly nutritious, offering satiety and disease-fighting properties.